Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an Order of Scribes wizard subclass mod build in Baldur's Gate 3. Now this is a mod that was made by Mundane Mage, and the Order of Scribes wizard is a little bit different than some of the other wizards. Now what it does is it gives us a slightly different versions of ritual spells, which I'll show off in this video, but it also gives you ability to summon in a scrying eye or a scrying mind. Eventually they're going to make it so that you can cast spells through that. But I'll show off the build guide here, and whenever that update goes live, I may make a future update on this. But for the first level, we just got to pick our wizard spells. Now, I highly recommend Mistress spells if you're modding. This is a great spell to add in. Then we can take Frostbite and Lightning Lure, which can pull creatures closer to us and give disadvantage on attack rolls. And I also really like Bone Chill, just very useful cantrip. Makes so the target can't get any healing. Otherwise, you could also take Ray of Frost or Shocking Grasp. For our spells, Shield, one of the best. Always have this equipped. Just increase your armor class by 5 for that turn, and it makes you pretty tanky, honestly. As a wizard, this is super useful to have, and it makes so you can't take damage from magic missile. Also, Find Familiar for the Raven, and also I like to have Frost Fingers, Thunder Wave, and Burning Hands. Grease is also another spell that I do enjoy. The Frost Fingers from Mistress spells as well. You can also add in some of the other ones here, like Absorb Elements, but I wouldn't add any of these rituals because we're going to get them. And for our ability scores, 16 intelligence and dexterity with 14 constitution, 10 wisdom, 10 charisma. That's typically what works best here. And I'll be covering a full build guide as well as what gear to use, and then also what you should do in combat. At level 2, this is when we get to choose the subclass here. So the Order of Scribes gives us subclass features, the Wizardly Quill, which allows you to get wizard spells into your book for half the price, only 25 per level. And the Awakened Spellbook, so using specially prepared inks and ancient incantations. This basically gives us so you get advantage on arcana checks, and the spellbooks helps you remember magical lore. You also get the cantrip rituals, which I'll show you guys there. So slightly different version of some of the spells like Long Stride or Enhanced Sleep, and you name it. Now for our next level spell, Fog Cloud can work pretty well here, and you can also add something like Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And for our prepared spells, something like this can work well. You can swap out spells as you see fit, but early game, it's all about our cantrips, really, and the slight chance that we can get someone knocked out of the way with Thunder Wave. Now, once we get level 2 spells, this really ups up our damage, so Hold Person and Scorching Ray being two of the best spells that we can get at this level. And we'll swap in and put those two in, as they're pretty useful. Also, the Raven's nice for applying blind to targets, so we can apply a lot of disadvantage on attack rolls. We also get ourselves another cantrip here. You can take like Sword Burst if you want. If you have Mistress spells, it's pretty useful to have. And then for our next level spells, I really like to have Mirror Image. Taking Magic Missile, should have probably taken that previously. And Shatter can be a nice spell in an area effect. And Cloud of Daggers is nice because this doesn't actually require you to pass any checks. It's just instant damage. Misty Step, though, is another really effective spell that we're going to take. And we're going to take we'll take Magic Missile here. And for our feat, we're going to add in Intelligence, as this gives us more prepared spells and more damage or better damage rolls on our spell casting. Now level 5, we get access to some of the best spells in the game. Haste, Fireball, Lightning Bolt being some of the ones that you definitely want to take. And I would recommend actually having a Sorcerer do Twinned Haste, as that's going to be able to apply to 2 targets. It's a little bit better, and Sorcerers also have Constitution saving throw proficiency, so they're kind of ideal for that. And we're going to add our big damage spells of Fireball and Lightning Bolt there. At level 6 here is where we get our cantrip, the Manifest Mind, conjure forth the mind of your Awakened Spellbook, which basically just gives us a scrying eye, and eventually you'll be able to spellcast for us. And we can take some spell levels here. Level 3 spells, I'll take Counter Spell, a very effective one. Glyph of Warding is also quite nice, but there's one from Mistress spells that stands above all else, Tidal Wave. This sets up water, which the wizard typically doesn't get create water, so there's only one subclass that does. This will give us the ability to set up water and knock targets prone and deal damage to them. So we're going to take that, and I would also recommend you can take off the Find Familiar and put on Counterspell at this level, because Counterspell is just really good. At level 7, we get ourselves level 4 spells with things like Conjure Minor Elemental and Ice Storm being 2 of the top priority. Ice Storm just gives us a reliable way to set up difficult terrain, so we can go with that. And Minor Elementals are just really effective because they just will take aggro for us, and they give us some extra hits in this action economy. Now for our next level spells, Confusion is actually really good, underrated spell. Can shut people down big time. And this does not require concentration, so you can keep your concentrations up on things like Wall of Fire. And for our next leveled spell, I think that Misty Step is good to take back in here, as the other options are more so if you want to have them there. We're going to boost up our intelligence here to 20, as that's really effective to have full spell casting. And for our 2 spells, Cone of Cold and Conjure Elemental, just really good. I highly recommend taking those. Cone of Cold, huge damage. Tidal Wave to set this up, and then Cone of Cold to deal double damage, upwards of 128 damage. And then our Water Elemental can actually set up vulnerability to cold damage as well with its main attack. And the Water Mirror Madon at level 6 can also set up water on multiple targets. So it's just the best way to get damage. At level 10, we get the Master Scrivener here, which copy a spell from your Awakened spellbook to a piece of parchment. The next level 1 spell you cast does not cost a spell level. Kind of a weak spell, honestly. Level 10, just getting an extra level 1 spell. Not that good, but I mean, it's something. And for our next level spell, I guess we can go with our good old Shocking Grasp there, shut down reactions. Hold Monster being a very effective spell that we want to have. Also, if you got Mistress spells, Steel Wind Strike is probably one of the best choices here for damage, so we're going to go with something like that. Steel Wind Strike just being extremely strong, does 60-10 of force damage to 5 different targets. It's very powerful. And at level 11, we get ourselves level 6 spells with things like Chain Lightning, Odalix Freezing Sphere being top priority here. And we'll take those. I guess Hold Person can be nice, but we can also swap that out if we want something else here. So we can go something like this. And yeah, a lot of great spell choices. We can go add in another level. We can go with something like adding in a Tempest Cleric, which will give us heavy armor proficiency. We could also start with a single level of Fighter or Sorcerer just for the Constitution saving throw proficiencies. Heavy armor is nice if you want to go that route, but it's entirely up to you. You can also just, I will stay level 12 Wizard just to get an extra feat here. And then we can also scribe like, or get ourselves like Circle of Death and Wall of Ice. I also really like Globe of Invulnerability too, but rolling with these spells here, I guess it removes all of our spells, so we have to go reselect some of them because it takes them off whenever you try to multi-class. So there, got my favorite spells back on, pretty much what we had previously. And we can go with an ability score improvement to take up Dexterity if you want. We can also go with something like the Alert feat for the +5 to Initiative and Cannot Be Surprised. And you can also take Spell Sniper and take Eldritch Blast to give yourself increased critical hit chance with some spells. And also give yourself Eldritch Blast, which is really nice. Now, what this ends up looking like for gear. So, with the Hood of the Weave, this gives us a +2 to spell save and spell attack rolls. Cloak of Protection for better armor class. We only got 20 armor class right now with a shield. This is using the Wave Mother's robe. But if you really want to juice yourself up, I would recommend just going with the Helldesk armor. That's just going to give you the best survivability with 27 armor class. But if we're going with even light armor, Robe of the Weave is also a nice choice. These are Act 3, but even early game, you can go with the... you can go with, I guess the Potent Robe doesn't actually work well here, but if you got that single level of Fighter, you can even take something like the Adamantine Scale Mail or the heavy armor version of that. Really the best available robes that you got. Even the Robe of Supreme Defenses can be pretty decent, give you increased armor class while concentrating on a spell. But if you got the Helldesk Glove armor, that just makes it so much more survivable. I also like to add in the Gloves of the Belligerent Skies here, which will give us 2 turns of reverberation whenever we hit a target with thunder, lightning, or radiant damage. And we can further enhance that with the Boots of Stormy Clamor here. Whenever we inflict a condition, we can further enhance that. I also like the Snowburst Ring to make ice surfaces underneath targets, and then also the Ring of Protection for better armor class, and the Amulet of Greater Health. Also using the Hellrider Lombo for the free +3 to Initiative. And we can grab the Staff of Spell Power to give ourselves a nice free cast. So this would be going with... so you got the Arcane Battery here. Give yourself that free cast of the Water Mirror Madon, which can set up water for us. Very effective. And then we can also summon in the Ice Methods as well. For some reason, it's not letting me prepare them. But the Ice Methods will take damage for us as well. See, it's really useful for that. Also, Marka Heshker here, really powerful staff. What we can do with this is we can also add ourselves Kreska's Favor and go with the Bolts of Doom to stack up extra lightning damage. And it gives us a free cast of Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. So obviously that's really nice. Now, I'll show off what this looks like in combat. We do, I guess, have these, we got these, basically you apply these to multiple targets. So we got ourselves ritual spells that we can just set up like this and doesn't require any spells. We always have them prepared, so we got that. We got ourselves Featherfall. We got the Enhanced Leap. We also get the Find Familiars, so we got ourselves the Find Familiar Raven with it. You didn't have to take that. I should have mentioned that previously, but the Raven's nice. It only has 1 health, but it can grab people's attention, which is what it's there for. So I'll show off what this looks like here in combat. So getting right into it, we'll just start off with our free cast of lightning bolt because we have lots of enemies here lined up. We got 7 people in a row now just to blast and stack reverberation on. So we'll just get right into a fight here, and this is perfect. So we could go a lot of different ways. We can start off with like the chain lightning into we could go chain lightning. We can go with a tidal wave to set up water. But I actually think it's better. We didn't get good initiative with our Myrmidon. Normally I'd take the Myrmidon, set up water, and then blast with an ice spell. But we can also just drop something like the Steel Wind Strike, which will hit 5 different targets. And what's nice about this is we can likely set up some pretty effective damages here. Boom. As you can see, Steel Wind Strike's obviously a really nice spell. But that took out a bunch of targets, and we also got ourselves 4 lightning charges stacked up. So pretty effective. So yeah, that was really, really good. We also got Mind Blast. We got the Illithid ability to set that up. And we'll go with the Manifest Mind to bring in our Scrying Eye here. Got 11 health, but it's just there to see invisibility for us and just kind of draw people's attention away from us. I'll end our turn there. I was able to get the Sonic Backlash off there on her, so that was perfect. But the reason that we want to have the Water Myrmidon, so we can throw it into a position like this here, just trying to find the optimal positioning. And it's got its healing vapors. There are some people low in health, like they only have 11 health, which not ideal to heal them, but oh, we can move a little bit more this way, and we should can't do that. I was trying to hit water on them, but what we want to do is we want to apply this heal. Now they all have wet applied to them, so then we can just go ahead with blasting with a cold spell, and it's going to create a huge ice surface here. So that's obviously really nice for crowd control purposes, and you'll see here we also have our Raven little friend here. We'll just bring him into the fray. But you can see any area that there's water right now is going to become a difficult surface for many enemies, as they likely don't have the ability to walk on ice. So this is great crowd control as well as damage. And there goes our bird. But hey, the bird took a hit from a fire elemental, so that's 1 less of your teammates that'll get damage. And if you can get the bird to do the blinding attack, that's even better. So that can be really nice. Now what we want to do, I can run away with it, the opportunity attack, perfect. And we can go with a nice Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, so we can just throw this right at them. And this has a huge area of effect, so we're just going to drop that right there. Unfortunately on our... Oh. Unfortunately, you got that counterspelled, so that was not ideal. But we can also go ahead with a free cast of it, so thank you. We got this here. I should have known that that would have gotten counterspelled, and we'll just blast away there. So Odaluk's Freezing Spear just made a big ice surface there, knocked a couple of them out. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough juice to be able to get ourselves another chain lightning off, so that sucks. But we'll just we'll roll with that, roll the punches, let our Myrmidon tank for us. He can also now just start going ahead with ice attacks, so we can just block and drop those down on him. We're creating bad attitude here for our Myrmidon, but that's fine. It also brought in more guards for us to fight. Anytime you attack, nice, they're right there. Anytime that you attack anyone that are, you know, civilians, it'll bring in more guards, so can help out with that. But yeah, see, knocking them prone is why we want that, because it'll set up and make it so that we don't have to we don't get hit as often. Now we can drop down our tidal wave right here. This may bring in more guards, and of course we got counterspelled again. That's not what I was expecting to have happen, but these things do happen, so I guess we'll go with that again. And ideally I would hit with a Cone of Cold. Brought in even more guards there, that's fine. I'll just go with Mind Blast here to wipe these targets out. There's 3 of them left, so bonk, that should remove all 3 of them, and it did. So that was perfect, and we have the ice surfaces set up there. Not the best turns, but we're making the most of them. So we also got him right here, which should hopefully take this target out, and he did. Perfect, so we'll just let him chill out there. And as you can see, knocking people prone is so fun. It just makes it so that they lose their turn, and it's just good survivability for your team if you can set up ice surfaces like that. So for some reason it didn't give them their turn. Oh, they're right at the gate, and I'm not sure why the camera was doing that, but I guess they will potentially come after us here soon. But we can also just go with our tricks of our own, so I guess I can't reach them with that. It might just drop like an ice storm here, and I can't even actually reach them. We'll see how close I can get without setting up the oh, going right onto the ice there. And oh yeah, we can drop this down. I might have to move. Yeah, crap. But I was able to hit the ice surface, perfect, and I brought even more guards. So surprise, surprise. We should be able to I guess they're more back this way, so I'll run back. Hopefully the ice doesn't knock me out. Perfect. And Steel Wind Strike being the awesome spell that it is. Oh, not enough movement speed to be able to hit them, but might be able to, yeah, we can hit them with a Chain Lightning, so that'll hopefully chain to a few targets. And we got counterspelled again. This is just my life. Losing all my free spells. Unfortunately, this is probably the worst luck that I've ever had with counterspell. So I only have one level 5 spell slot left, and I don't want to waste it, so I am going to try and bait it out with an Ice Storm here, and they may counterspell me. Oh, they didn't. That's fine. That created a huge ice surface here. Now I cannot move whatsoever, but we also now can drop our Steel Wind Strike, and this will hopefully take out multiple targets because this will warp around to whoever it can possibly hit. And we're missing one more, unfortunately. I guess I will just use that because I don't want to risk running on the ice. But yeah, that didn't work out. I'm now prone. So womp womp. Again, worse luck. And to hopefully take them out, we got ourselves one last lightning bolt. I don't want to hit any other civilians because I'm tired of getting the cards come after us. But there it is. That is the Order of the Scribes Wizard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have yourself a great day and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.